Hello everyone. I'll be attempting my mock exam 6th for my PMP. I am aiming for uh, appearing for my PMP before 15th of December. So I am rigorously doing the mock exams to assess my skills until now. Out of this 5 that I have earlier attempted the exam, I was not able to qualify. Only one I was able to qualify. Now, hope for the best. Let's continue. Now, this says that a project manager implemented an approved change to manage a component failure. 1 month after the implemented change, the PM learns that the change did not work and it may cause more issues. What should the project manager do to prevent this from happening again? Okay, so the options are update the risk matrix after assessing any new risk, revisit or change the existing assumptions in the assumption log, update the lesson learned register with the component failure and follow up to verify that the change is performed as expected. Since we want that it should not happen again, then we have to update the lesson learned registers for this. The project manager hears that possible new law will take effect in the next 2 weeks. This could possibly cause a delay to the project and increase its budget. This was unexpected and PM is not sure it will really take effect. What should the project manager do in this situation? Get more information through formal methods. Update the risk in the risk register with the new information. Start implementing the necessary step to ensure the project will be in compliance and schedule a meeting with the sponsor to discuss solution to this. Get more information through informal methods. No, this is not an option, obviously. Update the risk in the risk register with this new information. I think PM is not sure it will really take effect. Um, since we are already executing the project and all the risks were already identified and the PM was not sure that it will really take effect. So my best guess is start implementing the necessary step to ensure the project will be in compliance. Obviously, informal method is not an option. Schedule a meeting with the sponsor to discuss solutions to this. I don't think this is also an option. Update the risk register with this new information. Start implementing. I think he should start implementing the necessary step because he already knew there is a risk and there has to be some risk responses. So you should start implementing that. During a sprint, the team encounter issue that may cause a delay in completion of the sprint. Another team within the project needs the sprint to be completed on time in order to meet their schedule. The team that prioritized the iteration backlog didn't account for the other team. What can the project manager do to fix this problem? Have the project team work harder to complete, have the product owner prioritize their value and account for relationship between team, hire external help and all that after completion of the didn't account for the other team. I think first is not an option since there is a problem uh, to complete the work harder is not an option. Hire an external help is not an option. So there are two, have the product owner reprioritize the iteration for value and account for relationship between the team. Another team member, I think the best thing is this. Ask the team member to finish their work and then engage in a retrospective after completion of the sprint. Since there is a problem, we can't fix it, obviously. So the best guess is to finish the work. The project manager is working on a pharmaceutical hybrid project and he is concerned the team will fail to meet the certain health regulations. What should the project manager do in order to ensure compliance is met? Conduct a retrospective session with the team. Obviously, it's no, because retrospectives are done once the project is sprint is completed. Manually review the deliverable to ensure compliance. Well documented and inspect on a consistent basis. We need to inspect deliverable on a consistent basis to check for the compliance. An organization has just implemented its first agile project. The product owner is concerned that risk will not be managed correctly and could cause issues to the project. What should the project manager do to address these concerns with the product owner? Implement a risk register for the entire plan. That will be a big turnaround. This is a known thing. Obviously, we have to do this. Ensure there is adequate contingency built into the project budget now. Inform the product owner since the scope and time is known, there is less that the risk is managed through many agile ceremonies and meetings. So these two questions, though these two are not good. Inform the product owner, the risk manager, informing him. I don't like this answer. So I think implement a risk register. Although while conducting a project, we are obliged to do these things. So that errors will not be managed correctly and cause issues on the project. I think he should inform that the agile ceremonies and meeting, obviously, he should address his concern, right? Implementing, it's already like it, it's basic part of the project. Maybe I could be wrong, but I think this is the best guess according to me. A new hybrid technology project requires a highly skilled team member who lives overseas and need 4 months to complete the international move. What should the project manager do in this? Find a new skill member, finish all the work except that delay the project, replace the work remotely. Obviously, this is a great idea. Request is late with the a vendor is late with the project deliverable due to internal staff changes. There is a small buffer in the budget for cost overruns. Okay, what is the first thing a project manager should do to mitigate? Report the vendor? No. Hire new vendor? No. Look into alternative vendors that can project. We have to mitigate this risk, right? So we should look into alternative and then project budget after. I think this first to report the vulnerable department. We have to mitigate and we have to like project objective should be preserved, right? And we need to work towards Getting the work done and vendor change, I don't think is a good option. So according to me, it should be this. During the daily stand-up meeting, team members discuss the amount of rework they have to do because the workload is too much. How should the project manager respond this concern? Request that team member implement time boxing. Request that product owner reduce the work in the program. Reduce the work in the program. I think Kanban board is basically like where we track our work in progress. So this is, and we only keep like only some of the things on that board which is currently in progress, and we limit our work in progress things. So it should be this. And I came across a very interesting idea about it goes like that. Before reading the question, if we read the answers, there is a like 75-80% chance that we will check the correct option. So let's just follow this thing to like check this thing. Like hire an external vendor to complete the complex work, have the sponsor add more resources to the budget with the right skills, cross functional, so implement the use of Kanban. A project manager has recently started to use the agile methodologies. The project managers hears that some team members feel like the other members are missing key skills and this might lead to delay in work. How should the project manager handle the situation? Have the sponsor add more resources to the project with the right skills. Kanban is work. I think adding the resources is the good thing. And we can hire an external vendor also, but I think this is the right option according to me. The project manager is having a major issue with the customer on a project. The customer wants the deliverables to be done 2 months earlier. The project manager has decided that this is not possible, but the customer is insistent. What should the project manager do? Continue the project as planned? No. Inform the customer of your disagreement and continue as planned? No. Meet with the project team to discuss what are the possibilities of completing the deliverables 2 months earlier. Ask the project sponsor for additional funding to complete the project 2 months earlier. Inform the customer how this will impact other project objectives. This will impact, obviously. I think these two are the most reasonable answers. Inform the project team they will need to prioritize the product backlog based on the value, then complete the most valuable work first. Inform the customers project will deliver value later in the project cycle. No. And in agile, we uh, want like it is aimed for like doing the most valuable work first. So I think this is the right answer without going through all the questions, but still let's go. Coach the product owner to prioritize the product backlog based on the value. This could be also an answer. Reprioritize the work yourself and tell the team that so this is a no, second is a no, fourth is a no. And an organization has moved to an agile method, a new project has completed about 50% of the work and customers are complaining that project is not delivered any value to them. What should the project manager do to ensure the project delivering values? I think coach the product owner to prioritize the product based on the value. Because as we know, product backlog is prioritized by the product owner, so coaching him should be the answer. The project manager has just been informed by a senior team member that project cannot proceed due to a work package that the team is having difficulties with. What should the project manager do to help the team? Add this to the risk register? No. Work with the team to identify them, obviously. Inform the project plan, seek a no. Implement change to increase the plan. Brainstorm potential solution with the team. So these two, work with the team and brainstorm the potential ideas. Team misinterpreted one feature of functionality that was documented by the customers. During the current iteration, the functionality has not gotten done yet due to other work. What should the project manager do? Next, since the functionality was approved, initiate a change request, schedule a meeting to discuss and brainstorm the functionality with the project team and how to implement it. So, escalate it to the sponsor and continue with the content and then add the functionality later. I think schedule a meeting to discuss the whenever there is, like, what I have learned in this course is that whenever there is a problem, scheduling a meeting and brains and discussing it with the team is always an answer. So I'm just going with that thought. Although I also like this, continue with the current iteration and that add the functionality later in the project. But I'll go with this. Work with the team. Provide training to the team so the team can estimate using story points. Instruct the team on what work needs to be done when. Have the sponsor estimate the story points for all the features. Use burn down chart to evaluate the team estimating. Burn down. Sorry. Some agile approaches have recently been added to an infrastructure company's predictive processes. Most of the agile processes and methods are not being followed by the team. The project manager is worried about the method they are using to estimate the amount of work to do. What should the project manager do? Amount of work to do. First is not a good answer. Instruct the team on what work needs to be done when. No. Have the sponsor estimate the story points for all the features. Use the burn down chart to evaluate team estimating. Burn down chart is used when we want to show the how much work is left. I think the sponsor should estimate the story points. Less story points. Story points. Now, bottom on. Bottom. Okay. Burn down charts. Burn down. Burn down chart is not there. Oh my god. Burn up chart. Work that has been done. Burn down job. Work that remains to be done. Okay. What remains to be done? Okay. Burn down works that remain. Story points. Okay. Story points is not the right then. Okay, team should own the story point. So story point is not an option. So use the burn down chart to evaluate the team estimating that. There is a conflict between 3 team members and 1 member from the vendor team. The issue is escalated to the project manager. What is the first thing the project manager should do? Call the vendor on the phone, terminate the event, send an email to discuss the issue. Call the vendor on the phone to meet with you in person to discuss. Obviously, discuss. In person is always the right answer. I believe. A customer requires the configuration of a component for the project to move on to the next one. After checking the project, the configuration might be done late in the project. Done late in our document the risk and develop a plan to complete the configuration. Risk register and discuss it at the next project status meeting. Start configuring the component right away. Modify the project schedule to account for the delay configuration. A customer requires the to move on to the next, and the cover might be done late in the project. I think this is the risk, and we should update the risk register and then develop a plan to complete the configuration. A project manager has taken over an agile project from her previous manager. The project manager, most of the customers do not attend the sprint run and issues with the value delivery. The promotion asked the team to reschedule the sprint review better from the customer just mandate the customer mentioned among from this mean continue the project but inform the customer issue may arise made with the customer and mentor them on the values of this meeting. The project manager creates the project management plan with the team. One team member is refusing to participate as he feels the project will be a burden on the company. What should the project manager do in this situation? Remove the team? No. Ask other team member? No. Inform the project? Meet with the team member to understand why he feels so. A team member has informed the project manager that he needs to leave right away due to a family and respond the project manager postpone some time. The result is that few activities are not happening at the same time. This is the first thing that the project manager should do. Evaluate the new risk with the team and update the risk. I think evaluating the new risk with the team and to update the risk register is the best response, I guess. There are 3 deliverables in the project. Deliverable 1 has a strict schedule. Deliverable 2 and 3 need quickly changing requirement during development. Select a full agile, no. Waterfall, no. Select hybrid model where development is position. Single agile sprint embedded in an overall waterfall project. Select a hybrid project where deliverable method embedded in an overall agile project. Yes. New project manager. The project is taking over 3 hours. Invite the product owner. Explain the team that long discussions are okay. Hire an external team. Tell the team member that they should shorten the time and improve on finding a solution because sprint should be like 15 to 30 minutes max. Daily stand up, sorry. Customer is not happy with the finished review. The agile development team delivered the product several sprints only. What should the brand do to prevent this from happening again? Customer is not happy with the finished review. They claim it was produced wrong and didn't function as expected. The agile development team delivered the product several sprints early. Don't prevent wrong. Required sign off for agent. Conduct more testing with the team. Ensure the team attend the sprint. Select the features that were included in the sprint. I think sign off. Organization wants to move to an agile. What principle should the start following to a complete design digital have management communicate set start using product backlog allow the team to choose what order the work should get done. Contact the sponsor to assign the new sources to a different meet with the new member to assess their skill. Ask the new member please what skills are like by the new member. Contact the project member. I think this hybrid project member that the new team member does not seem appropriate for a complex task. What should the project member do? Obviously, you need to assess their skill before coming to any conclusion. The project manager is working in an environment where schedule and scope are fixed. The team is skilled at a specific task. The organization is about to enter a new market that would require a whole new set of skills. What should the project manager do in this situation? His schedule and scope are fixed. Specific time upgrade the existing team members' skills. I think upgrade the existing team members' skill. An agile project team has realized that customer doesn't have much trust in them. In order to create a deliverable that delivers value, the sprint is almost done. The team has tried to interact with the customer but has failed. When should the team brainstorm ideas on how to get the trust of the customer? During the sprint planning meeting, retrospective sprint start or the first start? I think retrospective, obviously, what goes right and what goes wrong. Our project management plan has a schedule baseline of 2 years after the project complete. 8 months senior stakeholders project to be completed by 15 months. The project meet with the strong project team to discuss how the work can be completed. Requirement that were not needed. No, we cannot remove any requirement. Request the project team to work even fast to complete the work and report them. Condense the schedule to 15 by removing unneeded component. Meet with the project team to discuss what sections of the projects are not needed. Obviously, first, I think during an agile iteration, we know the end of the work would not be able to get done since a few tasks are depend on tasks that will be done later. But meet with the team and ask them to prioritize and inform them why. Obviously, since product owner will be able to reprioritize the iteration, so he's the right person. Project has completed a phase that was done within a iteration. Now the next phase will be using continuing. There are team members who have not had suitable child handle the lack of child training. Include child training for these team members in the project scope scheme. Check if the project continuing can cover the child training. Create a lead. Identify and implement cost effective agile training for the team member. I think it should be mentioned in the project scope or I'm confused in both. Include child emotion. I think identify and implement. An agile project manager will know that a delay in the development the feature was due to a lack of specification that was needed. No, I don't know. Have the specialized training, I guess. Review stakeholder and schedule a meeting with the team and create the team charter. Have the team meet and discuss this and remove the new member. Our team is small and before on the present our team member members not behaving well and insulting other members. Team charter, obviously it gives you the ground rules. During a highly regulated project, a customer has required change that appears to not meet the legal requirement. What should the first step in the project manager's response? Reject the change, send the change on Meet with the organization, looking to gain more an understanding of from the government training. I think meet with the legal department to gain more of an understanding of the law. Update the risk register to document the risk, then continue the meeting. Inform the team members that we rise outside the meeting, ask if the team wants to use the time for potential team members concerned. Then after the meeting, with privately with the team member to mention more about the potential issue. At a status meeting, a team member says, method of developing will not given the other team members won't say this way. Step should be okay. I think acknowledge the concern and then meet him privately to understand the potential issue. Project manager, that project must be done 4 months earlier than when the project will need to at least 2 more members to finish this work. Checks on this man also from the payment and announcement. Check with the functionaries if they are available. Contact the vendor. I think PMO. We should inform the PMO. Help the team create a team charter that will encourage them team unity. Assign one member to serve the project manager. No, manage team using frequent emails and have the team determine the best way to communicate by them. No, I think this after the assignment he found that he would need to leave the project for 6 weeks. He would only spend 2 weeks with the team at the picnic hall. Develop the new project team over the next 2 weeks. A project team was informed of a new privacy requirement from the company's legal department. This privacy requirement could impact all major baseline of the project. They learned this right after the project charter is authorized. How should the project manager handle this situation? For the project, then give the sponsor customer a recommendation and the privacy requirement to this. Wait until the project manager approves the sponsor was option to requirement to the at the privacy ad hoc to the risk register and have them recommend the response. Research the privacy environment and then gives one recommendation. I guess, or we can add the privacy requirement to the project scope statement. The project manager schedule a sprint review and learned that a few customers do not approve of how a feature has been made. What should the project manager do? Ask the stakeholder what about the feature is made and determine the project manager don't have the feature. This field feature on the product manager. Junior discuss the conflict with the parent. Use coaching tool to make project team understand and replace the junior, acknowledge the team complaint, and also analyze the impact. Junior team has asked to move to another parent in middle of assignment. The team believes that may cause an issue, but the project manager then recommends the team member was not doing any critical work. Acknowledge the team's concern and analyze the impact on the project. Stakeholder engagement throughout the have the customer accept perform risk assessment early and continuous throughout the project. I guess the project manager has recently been assigned that is almost and the managing manager mentioned the customer don't feel and the project have delivered any view to them. Have accepted deliverable upon completion. Have a meeting with the team and respond with the person with the team to ensure they fully understand the objective and the mentor the team on effective project has completed 30% of the work when the project manager notices that team is having issues communicating and finishing the rest of the work. How should the project manager do to ensure the team is functioning well? Have a meeting with the team and sponsor? No. Review the project management plan with the team to ensure they fully understand the objective of the project. Coach and mentor the team on effective communication and problem solving manner. Individually assess team member that are causing issues. I think coach and mentor. Project manager is managing an agile project that is on a strict timeline. The project manager is informed by a few stakeholders that they are worried the project will deliver the features too late. What can the project manager do to speed up the delivery of the feature? Remove features from the product. No. Meet with the product owner to identify the minimum viable product. Explain to a stakeholder the schedule will not be readjusted. Inform the stakeholder you will consider project using a variety of agile tools. Meet with product owner to identify the MVP, I guess. The project sponsor informs the project manager during the planning stage that available resources are insufficient to meet the objective of the project. The project manager believes the sponsor is correct. How should the project manager handle this situation? Have the sponsor provide more? Review the project. This actually true. Participate in negotiation. Have the sponsor for more resources. I think review the project charter to determine if this is actually true. A project manager is informed by other team member that one team member seems unhappy while working. The member is very slow to complete the work. The team member feels that he is not in the correct position. What should the project manager do? Meet with the team to ensure the team member is in the correct position. Meet with the team member to discuss where they can contribute based on their strong points. Members into classes, meet with the member on no, I think on this. A product owner complains that a function developed by the agile team does not seem to work as per the original design. What should the project manager do in this situation? I think sprint review meeting. Invite him to the sprint review meeting to discuss his concerns. A customer would like to add functionality to an ongoing project. The project manager finds that the cost for the addition would not impact the budget. The functionality would increase the overall quality of the project. Move forward, submit a change, inform the customer to sponsor, add the functionality. Change request and evaluate the impact. Work with the team member to implement the new change. Have the team research how to implement the change. Research the methods of implementing. Have the customer approve the change. Determine why this customer wants this change. I think determine why he wants. The project manager research and find this change is extremely complex. Determine obviously why he needs that change. A company is having a hard time. A company is having a hard time defining the company scope of a new project due to the technical component. The stakeholders are not sure what final output should look like. How should the project manager accomplish the scope? Hire an external implement and agile build the product in iteration. Best it can implement traditional large contingency reason. Agile. Have the product owner prioritize then implement solution identify during the last retrospective. Have the customer send in a detailed explanation what they are want in each feature. Meet with the team and have them explain the feature and meet with the product owner discuss the potential fix. After 5 sprint, variations have occurred to the project schedule. This has occurred because of the feature being made by the project team are not aligning with the customer's expectation. Project manager wants to suggest a new method in the next sprint to avoid possible delays. I think it's meet with the product owner to discuss the potential fix. The project sponsor has informed the project manager that risk assessment is not necessary for current plan since the organization has completed this project many times before. The sponsor claimed this can help the complete the project soon. What should the project manager do? Skip the risk and ask the sponsor to share the risk register of the previous plan. Complete the plan and inform the sponsor risk changes per project. Obviously, we need to do the risk assessment. It's really important. Ask the PMO if the risk is truly needed on the project. The project manager has been assigned to an ongoing project to create a new medical device due to compliance with the country's law. The team doesn't feel safe building the product. They feel the product will not pass the required audit. Due to the compliance with the country doesn't feel like building. They feel the product will not pass the required audits. What should the project manager do in this situation? Recruit the team member that are familiar with the particular compliance, meet with the team to gather their input on how to meet the compliance, contact SMA to guide the project and research and project owner. I think we should contact the SMA. Inform the project team of the security requirement, have them implement a method to ensure work with the project team to implement the security and regularly check to ensure that they implement higher outside with the quality assurance to ensure for security. Our project manager need to ensure that all security requirements are covered during a software mitigation project being executed. The project will be moving large amount of private data from one system to another due to government regulation. A breach of this data could lead to severe consequences. How should the project manager ensure compliance? I like both these answers. Work with the project team and have the quality assurance team check for security breaches. Assurance team. Okay, work with the team. Let's moving on to the next question. Several activities are behind schedule because a project team member has fallen sick and has been out for the past week. This impact the critical path. What should the project manager do in this situation? Work with PM, meet with the team to discuss the situation, work with them to ask the team if they can work overtime to complete the project and allow the project to continue, and when the member have them work overtime. Okay, work with the team. Meet with the team and work with them to identify a solution. The contractor has completed a portion of a major deliverable for the project. The department has informed the project manager the vendor was paid for his work. The contractor has informed the project manager the payment made was not for the completed work and needs more money. What should the project manager do? Review the deliverable, conduct a procurement audit, have the contract send you his invoice, and inform the contractor to sell in procurement department. Obviously, dispute should be handled by the procurement department and not the project manager with the vendor. Okay. Now, a project manager realizes during the second sprint of the project that the project management plan software is not is not showing updates due to a potential software error. What action should the project manager do? Assign one team member to fix, stop using the software, fix this error independently, update the issue, log on the project to get the team involved. Right. Send a request to the asking them to update the project charter, meet with the project team to add new and improve it, to replace the feature that were rejected, work with the organization and to create a shared approach that will address the issue and file a change request with the change control in order to add budget and scope to the baseline. During a meeting with the organization management, they indicate that they will reject an iterations deliverable. Work with the organization and create a shared approach that will address the issues and concern. Okay. A new member has been assigned to replace a key member who had left the project. After this, a stakeholder claimed that the person who is assigned the new member sent someone with little to no skill. What should the project manager assess the new member's ability to communicate with the current project team, evaluate the skill of the new member to understand how the resources can provide value to PMP to replace, have the team train more. Evaluate the skill, assess the new member's ability to communicate with the current project team, evaluate the skills of the new member to understand how the resource can provide value to the project. I think this is the right. Match the agile term. Inspection by the customer is the project team work to complete the task. Work the teams like to get done in the next one. It, it is the sprint inspection by the sprint review is the this and then sprint backlog. Negative values indicate over budget. This value should be O1 and over. Okay, negative value no, over budget. Over budget. Over budget is cost. So over budget it will be CPI. This value should be 1 and over for projects under budget. cost variance. Negative value indicate behind schedule. Schedule variance. Negative value indicate over budget. It should be, obviously we can't have negative value in CPI and CPI, cost performance and schedule performance. Negative value indicate over budget. That means budget, schedule variance and cost variance. Budget, it should be cost variance, which is 3. This value should be 1 and over for projects under budget. Behind schedule, schedule variance, that is 1. So should be 1 and over for a project to be ahead of schedule. Ahead of schedule. Ahead of schedule should be SPI, schedule performance, and this has to be the 2, cost under budget. Quality terms. Distribution of numerical data shows you the root cause of potential defect, cause and effect diagram. Graphical representation is the flow chart, and distribution of will be the histograms. Match the agile terms. Burn up, velocity, and burn down shows how many points a team can get done in each iteration. It should be a velocity. Shows you what work has been done. Show you the amount of work that remains. Burn down chart is the remains, and shows how work has been done is the burn up chart. Now, oh God, hopefully I qualify. I'm really nervous. Although I'm getting 75% and above, and that is the score to qualify for the PMP. Although it is not a score, but there are like targets, meets targets and all. So it's above target percentage. But let's just see. We have 8 minutes left, and I didn't mark any question for the bookmark. Okay, let's get over with this. Oh God. Oh God. This was the worst score I have got till now. Oh my God. I had like 6 questions. Oh, oh, oh. Project manager implemented an approved change to manage a component failure. 1 month after the implemented change, the PML and the change did not work and it may cause more issues. What should the project manager to prevent this from happening? Okay, right. Follow up to verify that the change is performed, and obviously we have to check if some change has happened, then we have to check if it is working as expected. The project manager has that possible new law. Oh God, it says possible new law now. I'm hearing it loud and clear. The questions affecting the next 2 weeks. This could cause a delay to the project. This experience is for the next 1 week. I'm sure if it will really take effect. Update the risk in the risk with new information. Okay, yeah. Update the risk in the risk register with this new information. That may occur, it needs to be added to the risk register and then analyzed. Okay, once the change is implemented, should be monitored to ensure the result of the change is as expected. Okay. Oh. I missed this. Team prioritize the iteration backlog. So obviously it is the work of the product owner. Oh God. The project manager need to assess alternative. Once a practical alternative is identified, they can present the circumstance. Okay, look into the alternatives or option. Okay, when we have some issues. Okay, okay. They are doing too much rework, time boxing, too much into little time, too much time boxing. The technique chosen appropriate window of time dedicated to a thing. Okay. There is no work in progress, so this answer is wrong. Angel has senior started to use agile methodologies in his project. The project manager, some of the demand feel like other missing keys here and this might lead to a delay. How can I handle this situation? Okay, yeah, this answer was not clear. Add cross-functional resource. Okay, okay. It says that the project manager is worried about the method they are using to estimate the amount of work. Okay, they are okay. Oh, I missed while going through the question. I missed the essence of it. It says that the agile processes and methods are not being followed by the team, and he is worried about the method they are using. So basically, the team lacks the certain skills and provide the training. That should be the answer, right? Okay. When a customer is not engaged in the it usually lead to a failed product that doesn't meet their requirement. Ensure the customer attends the sprint review meetings. Sign off. Yeah. Objective and solving product backlog. Agile is about open communication, getting the most valuable work done, which is usually done by the product owner. Okay. It says that product owner will prioritize this. So this should not be an answer, right? Am I right? Your time is limited. Okay, it says time. Schedule and scope are fixed. Okay. Where time is limited, the most efficient option is expanding the team to include the skilled resources. Required hands and train them based on those. The programmer should know this right. Required strength and skills that needed from them, then they can build the team around those strengths. Okay, right. Research the privacy requirement for the person, then give the sponsor or customer a recommendation. To research how this present and effect. And then okay, I was thinking of this only, and then at the last minute I chose the scope statement. Okay, why the feature is a failure before taking an action to fix it. Okay, okay, right. We need to understand it first. Stakeholder engagement, obviously. Okay, negotiation, right. Participate in for more resources. The project manager should you be using negotiation to find the right resources and project by following the steps in the project management plan. Okay, have the team research how to implement the change and what its effect would be on the as a technical issue. The team should be in charge of assessing this change due to its complex nature. Okay, after the assessment, then the change can be implemented. The product name okay, okay, right. Conduct a procurement audit. Fix this error independently. Meeting with the IT department. Prema should work to protect the team against impediments. Building the product. The question addressing administrative work that doesn't require technical knowledge should be handled by the software error. This question addressing administrative work that doesn't require technical knowledge. Okay. Oh my god, we have to keep in mind so many things while answering these questions. Oh my god. We need to add each and everything. That's all guys. I hope this video helps, and if in case like you want to do such sessions together, uh, I'm open to that. See you in the next video. Bye.